Eala sweeps past close pal Zeynep Sonmez at Abu Dhabi Open. Manila, Philippines. Eala got her Abu Dhabi Open campaign going in sweeping fashion, turning back Zeynep Sonmez of Turkey, 6-4, 6-3, on Tuesday, Manila time, at International Tennis Center in Zayed Sports City. Eala broke a 3-3 tie in the opening set, cruising to set point, 5-3, before Sonmez cut the deficit to 1. Again buoyed by a big Filipino crowd, she stayed composed and sealed the first set win, carrying the momentum into the next frame with a strong 3-0 start. It was an impressive victory by Eala against a fellow rising star, who also happens to be one of her closest friends. Before I address, of course, the amazing crowd, I just want to say I'm so honored to share the court with one of my closest friends, Zeynep. I admire her so much, and she's really making waves in many ways, and our friendship goes beyond tennis, so I'm so grateful for that, Eala said after their match in the United Arab Emirates capital that lasted an hour and 31 minutes. I think there are some similarities in our game, definitely, and that showed in the rallies, and she's a very solid player, so I think just being very focused on every point was the key to winning this match. The world number 79 Sonmez, who was fresh off a stunning Australian Open stint where she reached the third round, refused to go down without a fight, keeping Eala within striking distance. But the Filipino ace swept the next game for match point, 5-3, and survived the extended ninth game to book her ticket to the next round. The Rafa Nadal Academy graduate improved to 3-0 against Sonmez, whom she also beat in the round of 16 at Nantes in 2023 and last year's Eastbourne Open qualifying round. Eala, currently on her career best ranking number 45, battles Belarusian Alexandra Sasnovich in the round of 16 of the WTA 500 tournament. Sasnovich, a qualifier, upset number 8 Paula Badosa, 6-4, 3-6, 6-1, to advance to the next round. Eala will also compete in the doubles with fellow Southeast Asian Janice Tien of Indonesia, as they take on Canadian Leylah Fernandez, who has Filipino descent, and decorated French netter Kristina Mladenovic. Eala came off a quarterfinal stint at the historic Philippine Women's Open, where she lost to eventual champion Camila Osorio of Cambodia. She also made her Australian Open main draw debut. Eala sweeps past close pal Zeynep Sonmez at the Abu Dhabi Open. The desert evening in Abu Dhabi carried a hush that felt almost ceremonial, the kind that settles just before something meaningful unfolds. Under the glow of floodlights, two young women stepped onto the court not as strangers, not as rivals hardened by bitterness, but as friends bound by years of shared journeys, early mornings, and dreams that once felt impossibly far away. Eala and Zeynep Sonmez stood on opposite sides of the net, close pals by history, competitors by necessity. Tennis, after all, does not care about friendship once the first ball is struck. From the opening rally, it was clear that Eala had arrived with intent. Her movements were sharp, purposeful, each step echoing months of quiet preparation and the steady belief that she belonged on stages like this. The Abu Dhabi Open, with its polished courts and international spotlight, can intimidate even seasoned players. For Alex, it seemed to sharpen her focus instead. Zeynep knew her game well. She had seen Alex on practice courts, had shared laughs during long travel days, had traded stories of home and heritage. She knew the lefty forehand that could open angles others couldn't see, the calm exterior that often masked a fierce internal fire. Still, knowing something and stopping it are two very different things. Eala played like someone painting with conviction. Her shots weren't rushed, they were deliberate, shaped with care, pushed deep into corners where time itself seemed to hesitate. The rallies tilted in her favor early, not through brute force, but through clarity. She built points patiently, as if she could already see the ending before they began. Across the net, Sonmez fought with heart. Every point she won was earned, every hold of serve a small declaration of resistance. There were moments, beautiful ones, where she broke through Alex's rhythm, drawing applause with clever changes of pace or a daring run to the net. In those flashes, the friendship surfaced, a quick smile, a nod of mutual respect. But momentum can be a quiet tyrant. As the match unfolded, Eala's confidence grew, her strokes loosening, her court sense expanding. She moved not just to the ball, but through the match itself, adjusting, adapting, staying one step ahead. It was the kind of performance that doesn't shout but resonates, the kind that leaves no doubt about who controls the narrative. The sweep wasn't cruel, it was composed. Each game slipped into the next, and soon the finish line appeared closer than expected. For Zeynep, the challenge became less about turning the match around and more about honoring it, playing freely, swinging honestly, refusing to fade quietly. For Alex, it was about closing with grace, resisting the temptation to rush, respecting both the opponent and the moment. When the final point ended, the scoreboard told a simple story. But the truth lived elsewhere. They met at the net, smiles warm and genuine, words exchanged that the crowd could not hear. In that brief space, competition dissolved, replaced by something deeper, shared understanding. They knew what it took to stand there. They knew the sacrifices that never make headlines. For Eala, the win was more than advancement in a tournament. It was affirmation. A reminder that her journey, from junior courts to global arenas, was unfolding exactly as it should, shaped by patience, discipline, and belief. Abu Dhabi wasn't just another stop, it was another step forward, taken with poise. For Sonmez, the loss did not diminish her story. If anything, it sharpened it. Losses like these, against friends and equals, carve clarity into ambition. They remind players why they return to the court the next day, why they endure the grind. As the crowd applauded and the lights hummed on, the desert night swallowed the echoes of the match. Somewhere beyond the court, the future waited, full of rematches, new opponents, higher stakes. But on this night at the Abu Dhabi Open, Eala had swept past a close pal not with cold detachment, but with controlled brilliance. She played not to erase friendship, but to honor the game they both loved. And in doing so, she left a quiet mark, one that suggested this was only the beginning.